Brothers and sisters, I weep for Black America.
And you ain't black.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Apologize. I haven't been streaming in a couple of days now, I think. Had to kind of get my head together in light of recent events. Brothers and sisters, I got to let you guys know. I'm in a bit of a somber mood right now, honestly. In part because of where we have gotten ourselves. I understand that with societal breakdowns and, with the expulsion of God and the rise of individualism, hyper individualism, we've kind of just turned a blind eye on just basic decency. Yeah, forgive me. Like I said, I'm a little discombobulated, just compiling all of this information for you all's viewership. I just kind of want to illustrate to you all that it's time that we start being real, authentically honest with each other. We have to be honest with each other. So, as you saw the thumbnail, I'm sure you all are aware of the homicide that took place in Philadelphia, involving 73-year-old man and a pack of wild banshees, demonic teenagers who decided to snuff this man's life. just out of pure in entertainment and pure pray for me. I got to get through this, all right? Because I want to provide you guys context. How did we get here? I got a lot of information, got a few videos we're gonna go through, and I want you guys to kind of like just draw the picture in your mind, because there's a historical context that really, really matters here. Okay, I know we all kind of have our own ideology, we all have our own kind of versions of the truth, but remember, people, there's one God, so that means there's only one truth, and that is objective truth. Okay, this whole my truth thing, dispose of it. Okay, because that is a lie. There's one truth, one objective truth. Okay, all right, guys, so we're gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna present the video and videos. Like I said, I have quite a few, and then we'll just kind of like we'll discuss it as we watch. Okay, so here we go.
Old man with a traffic cone. The attack happened in late June in North Philadelphia. That man died a day after this disturbing assault. Eyewitness News reporter Matt Petrillo spoke with the victim's niece, who says her uncle was like a second father. Matt?
Yuki, that's right, and today police identified that victim as James Lambert. He leaves behind a big family, including 2 daughters. His niece tells me she will never get over his death.
I just don't understand what's going on in our city.
As family fights through tears, police...
Like, these demons didn't even consider that this man had a family. Like, I mean, because we're all connected, right? We're all connected to each other. So you take one life, that impacts. It's like a ripple effect. Whew. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just I'm a little disgruntled here. Give me a second. But here we go.
They're going through this security video that captured the final moments of James Lambert's life. You can see the 73-year-old is surrounded by several teenagers and attacked from behind with a traffic cone. It happened on June 24th. He died the next day.
Where were the parents?
Tanya Stevens is James' niece.
I just don't understand how children that age, whatever, they look like they couldn't have been any older than 14. How are you out at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Cameras outside the Martin Luther King Older Adult Center and Stephen Klein Center YMCA captured the brutal beating.
Mr. Lambert proceeds to get up, and he's attempting to walk away from the group again. And then at that time, you can see a female strike Mr. Lambert in the back with the construction cone.
Police believe the teens are between 13 and 17 years old. After the attack, you can see one boy.
Look, 13 and 17 years old. I mean, you haven't even surpassed the stage of critical development at that age. 13. I mean, you're just entering into adolescence, and this is what you decide to. This is what you choose to do with your life. Is to take another man's life out of sheer entertainment. 13 years old.
Hop on a scooter, and another boy has a unique patch of blonde hair. Sadly, some even recorded the assault.
I did notice on the video surveillance that one.
Oh yeah, we got to record it because that's the trendy thing to do, right? You know, let's capture us a viral video here. You know, we got to have our phones. You know, let's record this murder as it takes place. You know, ha ha hee hee, fun.
The juveniles did have his phone out and seemed to be recording the incident.
At this time, the attack has not been posted on social media. Now, Lambert's family has this message to the teen's parents.
The parents they need to turn their kids in. The kids need help. They need help.
And police tell us they're looking into the possibility those teens could be linked to other attacks in the city. Reporting live outside Philadelphia Police Headquarters, Matt Petrillo, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Matt, thank you.
Okay. So so the next video, let me take this down. So that was a homicide. Yeah, I agree with you, Charlene. They need to be locked up. They need to be put under the jail. They need to rot in prison. They do. And like I said, we're going to break down all of the extenuating factors because, you know, you're going to have the snowflakes out there to say that, well, these kids were disadvantaged, you know, it's because they come from an impoverished neighborhood. Oh, so let's link poverty to homicide. That's interesting. And listen, we're not even talking about full-grown adults here. We're talking about children. Children, right? So this next video here is the mom of one of these demonic children, teenagers, decides to speak out. And let's listen to what she has to say here.
They say killed a hard-working 24-year-old man.
Oh, nope. That's not the video there. Give me 1 second, guys. Thought I had all this stuff in order here. Oh, there it is. All right.
A deadly and unthinkable tragedy are speaking out tonight. Good evening, I'm Dawn Timoney. It's been a top story all week long. Young teenagers charged as adults in the deadly beating of 73-year-old James Lambert. 2 of those teens have been officially charged with murder. And the mother of one of those teens, 14-year-old Jamira Mosley, sat down with our Alex Hawley today. It is an interview you will only see here on Fox.
So all that stuff that's on social media about me and my child is not true. I'm not a bad mom.
I sat down for an exclusive interview with Shira, the mother of 14.
Y'all see that right there? Uh-oh. Let me go back.
Jamira Mosley, charged with third-degree murder and conspiracy.
Look at her. Look at them dead pin eyes right there. No emotion. She looks, look. She's my daughter age, right? Like
charges for the traffic cone beating death of James Lambert Jr. Jamera's grandmother and family attorney Lonnie Fish were also present. Much of the attack was caught on surveillance video.
What do you say to some people who've looked at that video and they say, how could a good kid be capable of something like that, beating a 73-year-old man with a traffic cone to his death?
No regard.
It's the other kids, and you know.
Look at that. See that face right there, guys? That is the look of denial. That is the face of shame. You failed. You failed. Now, instead of shirking the blame, you know, I wasn't there. My kid's a good kid, you know. And I get it. It's a knee-jerk reaction that I'm sure most parents would have, but come on. Let's take a little bit of accountability here. What the hell was your kid doing out at 2 o'clock in the morning? The devil's hour. I got to pull my, give me a second. All right, there we go. The devil's hour. Why was your child out in the street at 2 o'clock in the morning? Mom, can we start there? Can we start there? Oh, no, we don't want to offend her because it may be racist. You know, we must abstain from telling the truth and asking the real questions because it might offend her sense of self. You know? That's whistle past the grave, right?
Bad influence. She probably didn't mean to do it.
The 73-year-old was walking along the 2100 block of Cecil B. Moore Avenue on June 24th when he was attacked just before 3 in the morning.
My daughter didn't take nothing like that. Never. Just like that going to just, you know, things been different. Because we ain't got that family no more like we used to have.
Oh, we don't have that family anymore like we used to have. You know, I think there's a grain of truth in that because, yeah, if I can recall, conservatives have been saying for, I don't know, a little over 50 years now that the existential threat that's facing Black America is not racism. It is the lack of family structure. Oh, we're not allowed to say that because that's too difficult of a problem to fix, right? Let's continue.
I'm saying we used to be in the house and stuff like that as a family. My mom disabled, so I'm going through a lot, you know, so she going through a lot.
Why was it important for you to talk to us and to...
Because I feel like that's my daughter and I care. And like I said, she wasn't with me when it happened. She snuck out that night and...
She wasn't with me. It happened. Oh, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Matter of fact, stop it. That's a bold-faced lie. You were very aware that your daughter routinely sneaks out of the house. Stop it.
Happened and snuck out that night and been with some bad friends.
So she never snuck out before?
No.
Well, Shira, do you have a message for James Lambert Jr.'s family?
I'm just want to give my condolences.
You're right, Carol.
We apologize. I'm really sorry it happened. I'm sorry.
Absolutely right.
Parent. She's sorry. So I can say I'm just sorry.
Of the 7 children shown in the video, only 2 have been charged so far. Jamera and Richard Jones, who is also 14. And
2 young Black Americans that has completely thrown their lives away. Let's just add them to the stats, right? Remember those statistics that you guys don't like talking about? You know, like the fact that Black America make up about like 13% of the population, but responsible for 51% of the homicide. Remember those statistics that we're not supposed to talk about? Yeah. Add these 2 to the list.
Both have now been charged as adults.
Sorry.
And what did she say?
Not a good shoot, not a bad kid.
Gosh. Okay. Before I move on to the next video, I just want to take a moment of silence, guys. You know, prayer and thought. Condolences out to this man's family, right? Because this man meant something to someone and a family, right? So just give me a minute. I'm just appalled. I'm appalled because I know how this is going to be spanned in the media. Somehow or another, racism is going to be the monster, the boogeyman, as to why this transpired. Come on, we all know. We all know exactly how it goes. All right, so this next video here, guys, it's yet another recalcitrant, another demon who decides to snuff the life out of a 24-year-old young fella who's just going to cash his check. You know, he's doing the right thing, you know, making an honest living, until two ruthless thugs wanted to take him for everything he had. All right.
Police are searching for this group of kids who brutally beat a 73-year-old.
Wrong one. Sorry about that. There we go.
Who was just trying to cash his paycheck and hurt a 34-year-old woman in the process.
Neil Smith is the name of the man who was shot and killed on Argyle Road 10 days ago. And a story you'll only see on 10 TV. Crime Tracker 10's Lacey Chris spoke with Smith's family and reveals who police are looking for.
Witnesses told Columbus police Neil Smith tried to give the suspects the money, saying just take it. They shot him 13 times anyway.
13 times.
They ran up. Me and my best friend were talking in my car.
And what happened?
I don't know what happened. Some little boy.
You see that? I don't know what happened. Some little boys were shooting. I don't know what happened. Some little boys were shooting. Yeah. This is where we are. This is where we are today.
I'm gonna miss him terribly.
Shirley Leaks is Neil Smith's grandmother. She says he went down the street to the corner market to cash his paycheck to pay bills. But Columbus police say 17-year-old Jabrell McClendon, 16-year-old Taiwan Gavin, and 21-year-old Keanu Logan saw the cash and followed Smith.
And he told him to take the money. Senseless, yes. I know the world is wicked, with no conscience.
The female, she said that Neil fell right next to her, and Neil apologized to her.
Columbus Police Detective Terry Callie says it didn't appear that Smith knew the suspects. They just wanted his money.
What we can determine from that is the fact that it was a robbery where Neil tried to do what he was told to do and give them the money and then run.
Right. You see that? So complying with the robbers' demands, that's not enough. It's not enough that they want your money. They want to kill you. They want to end your life. They want to remove your existence. Just cause. You heard what he said. He gave him the money. Why couldn't that just be it? Why do you have to kill him? Because the insatiable appetite for evil is never, ever, enough. It's never satisfied.
For his own safety, and they shot him anyways.
Kelly says thanks to the public's help, they were able to identify the 3 suspects.
Look at them. Look at them. Any of this look familiar? Go out into the major cities. I can guarantee you, majority of the young black males are walking around looking just like this, presenting themselves with this false bravado, this false masculinity, you know, compensating for their manhood by being a thug, right? Maybe if I sag my pants and I sound less educated, you know, I can fit in. Maybe if I you know, just don't have any respect for life, any regard for life, I will be accepted. And unfortunately, my good people, this is what Black America has succumbed to. I'm going to look, if no one's going to say it, I'm going to be the first to say it. Okay? I can be crucified. Okay? Hang me out to dry. Excoriate me. I don't care at this point because this is sick. It's senseless killing that should not have to happen. I don't care. Label me a coon. Label me a sellout. Label me whatever tickles your fancy. All right. But I can tell you one thing. It's not me. It's not me who's selling out. It's the
deluded fools in America.
The deluded fools in America.
But that they still have not been arrested. All 3 are facing aggravated murder charges.
You know, I really want the boys who did this as an example. And I know it's so many young people out there. This needs to be a lesson.
If you know anything about the shooting or where the suspects may be.
No. Listen. I'm sorry, news lady. I'm sorry, reporter. But see, one thing you have to understand that within the Black community, there's this code of honor. It's called snitches get stitches, right? So we allow our criminals and thieves and robbers to reign free because none of us will stand out and defend the innocent. None of us will speak out against the criminals because we have an honor. We have an honor code, which is, you know, we don't tell on our killers. We harbor them. We keep them safe and tucked away in the hood, right? Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, snitches sleep with the fishes. That's what they say. But you know what's so crazy? Look, I get it, you know. Maybe that ethics, those particular ethics apply to, you know, gang members, people, prisoners, inmates, things like that. When you're in that sort of dynamic. But when you are actively engaging in open evil upon the innocent, oh hell no. Oh, no. I'm telling them your address. I'm telling them your mother's name, your father's name. I'm not a part of that life. I don't have to abide by that code. I don't. And I'll be damned if anybody would try to force me to. And if they smoke me, they smoke me. Who cares? At least I spoke up. And I get it, Sean. It's not just within the black community. I mean, you got parts of Appalachia where this kind of subcultural, these subcultural traits persist as well. But look, I look at it like this, right? I look at it like this. I worked in the emergency department for like 3 years, right? And I would see some of the most, heinous things occur. I've seen some pretty grotesque gunshot wounds, stabbings, things like that would just frequently come into the ER. And one thing that I noticed that, what would happen is that whenever a victim or a patient would come into the ER and he or she was bleeding from the womb, the physicians, the nurses, the doctors, everyone would triage the source. Right? Stop the bleeding. Stop the bleeding. And right now, in Black America, we are bleeding. We are bleeding. And at this point, we're bleeding to death because, the vast majority of America just sort of, whistles past the grave, nothing to see here because, somehow or another, the news media, the Democrats, they've conditioned other ethnic groups, including white people, that you can't say nothing about it. Why? Because they'll label you a racist. Triage the source of the problem. Absolutely. Why do you keep talking about black people? Well, let's go ahead and let's dive into some numbers here. Let's dive into some numbers. All right, so check this out. They want to talk about numbers. Let's take you down. All right, here we go. Let's talk about some numbers. All right, let's go back. Oh, I wish I could make this wider. Okay, so check this out. And yes, this is a little dated, but you guys can go and check this out on the Bureau of Justice. What is it? The FBI statistics. You can go check it out yourself. But if you can see here, felony defendants in the 75 largest counties by most serious arrest charge from 2009. And it's, come on, guys, it's exponentially worse than it was in 2009. And if you don't believe me, go read the stats. Go check the stats. Fact check me. All offenses, black people represent 45%. And that was then. 45%. All offenses. Violent offenses, 48%. Hello, Melinda. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. 48%. Property offenses, breaking and entering, things like that. 41%. Drug offenses, 45%. And remember, we're a disproportionate population compared to the general population. We're disproportionate compared to the general population. We're a smaller segment of people. But we represent 45% of all offenses in the 75 largest counties in America. I'm sorry. I got to hit the smack button for that. Yeah, it's very shocking, but it's the truth. So when your liberal confreres, want to quibble with you over, their perception and their subjective truth, just refer them to the numbers. That's all you have to do. You go check the stats out for yourself. All right, let's move on. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys can read this. I'm sorry, I should have done a better job at formatting this. Okay, so let's look here. So what it says, all offenses, murder, murder, and I think it says non-negligent manslaughter, non-negligent manslaughter. 51% of the population. Burn that into your mind, okay? Burn that into your mind. Black America represent 13 to almost 14, give or take, percent of the population, yet responsible for 51% of the murder and the non-negligent manslaughter, the homicide. Well, I'm sorry about that, Carol. I know I should have did a better job here, but forgive me. For the sake of time, I'll just read it off here. Robberies. Black people make up 53%. 53%. And listen, look, I get it. I'm probably going to lose a lot of views. I'm probably going to lose a lot of subscribers. I get it. We don't want to digest the truth because it's the truth is like a root canal. It's like a root canal, It hurts, but it's much needed, right? Yeah, no problem. No problem, Carol. Thank you for being here, by the way. I appreciate you all for being here. Forgive me. I didn't even acknowledge the chat. I really, really humbly appreciate you guys for being here. I started off in a bit of a somber mood, but as as I kind of go through this go through all this with you guys, I'm just starting to put this in perspective. And I hope that this is helping you guys put things in perspective as well, because we have to be honest. Okay? Racism is a non-factor in America. It does not affect Black America. Okay, yes, racism exists. There are isolated incidences of racism. Let's acknowledge that and let's close that case. Let's acknowledge it and close the case. Now, remember what I said earlier. We have to triage the source. What is the source? The family dynamic in the Black America. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. I'm trying. I'm trying. Let's move on here. All right. The most dangerous cities in the first half of 2022 per capita. New Orleans, as of June 30th, 36.8%. These are dangerous. Listen, these are dangerous places to be, especially at night. Baltimore, 29.1%. St. Louis, 27.8%. Cleveland, I was just in Cleveland a couple weeks ago. Well, a couple weeks ago, yeah. 16.9%. This is terrible. And we're not going to get anywhere until we're honest with each other, guys. So, oops. One second here. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and read something here, guys, because I definitely think it's relevant. And if you're not a Christian, just go ahead and put it on the shelf. But I have to read this for my Christian brothers and sisters, because we know what's going on. We know. We intuitively know that Satan is busy. The devil is busy. All right, here we go. 1 second here. Share screen. Window. Okay, no. All right, so it's not going to let me. Let's see if I can pull it up like this. Hello, Sherry Ann. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. I'm very grateful that you guys are here with me, because this doesn't make any sense. This has to end. This has to end. And it's not going to end until we actually start being honest and calling it out for what it is. And what it is that family structure has completely declined. Morality is no longer an important part of our society. Thank you, Marlena. I appreciate that. It's because of you guys I can get up here and do the things that I do. Appreciate you guys. I really do. Let's go ahead and give me 1 second here. I definitely got to get a little bit more organized here, huh? But you guys still love me, right? Okay, here we go. Wait. Oh man, I really wanted to finish these stats up really quickly. Okay, so here we go. So check these next set of stats out, guys. Check these out. Okay, so look at this. Oops. No. Oh gosh. I'm opening up every other app on my computer. Thank you, I really appreciate that. 90% of federal criminal defendants pleaded guilty. They pled guilty. 90%. Oh man, there was another stat that I had. I thought I had it on here, but it pretty much showed that I think it's like 85% of the criminal defendants confess. But you guys can fact check me on that. It's roughly about 84 to 87%. I'm not 100% on that, but check it out. Definitely. Never take my word. Never take any man's word. You should always go independently verify it for yourself. Always. And that's what I did. I've done my research, I always take what people say with a grain of salt, and and I go verify it for myself. And if it rings true, then they've earned my respect on some level. But yeah, check this out. Only 2% of the federal criminal defendants go to trial. All right. So when you hear this whole narrative, oh, black people, they're being mass incarcerated and all that. Oh, no. How about this? You commit crimes, you go to jail. Okay. And if you can't afford legal representation to defend yourself, how about this? I got a great idea. How about we not commit any crimes? How about that? It makes perfect sense to me. Best way to avoid jail or prison is not to commit any crimes, right? It makes perfect sense to me. I don't know. Maybe maybe it's too deep for some people. Give me a second here. All right. All right. So, guys, appreciate that, Cassie. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and put up what I think could be a factor. Remember, there are external factors, right? There's historical context, and then there are external factors. And just to give a little background, prior to 1960, the black community had a marriage rate of 85%. Abortion was virtually unheard of. Out of wedlock births, what, less than 21%, right? I know, Lori. I'm trying to contain myself. Yeah. So, yeah, out of wedlock births, less than 20%. However, fast forward, Lyndon Baines Johnson. What happened? Our black women married the government, the men. They became disenfranchised. Fathers were abandoning their responsibilities as well as their financial responsibilities, and decided to seek their manhood through other means, such as joining a gang. I mean, come on, look, we know what the stats are, right? I'll tell you guys the stats of fatherless children. Okay, well, Obama once said, and God, I cannot believe I'm quoting Obama here, but nonetheless, Obama once said that children who grow up with no fathers are 5 times more likely to end up in poverty, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, 20 times more likely to end up in jail. I'm going to say that again. Fatherless children have a 5 times more likelihood to end up in poverty, 9 times likelihood to what did I say? Drop out of school, and of course, 20 times likely to end up in jail. We know this. But I'll tell you one thing. Did you guys notice something in that video that I played earlier with the mom speaking out? Did you guys notice anything? Put it in the chat if you notice anything in that first video. With the mom of the heathen teenager. Okay, well, not all at once, guys. Not all at once. But what I noticed was there was no father. Right? You're absolutely right. You got it. No fathers. I'm sorry. It's just sad because that could have been anyone's. That man could have been anyone's uncle, brother, grandfather. And you just take his life. Why? For what? Okay, so yeah. All right, guys. So what do you think about this? Oops. There we go.
We probably wouldn't be standing right here if somebody come shooting or something. You know what I'm saying?
I'm killing this. Yes, I'm killing this.
What's that look like?
Say they rap about real life in Chicago.
then that's drugs and guns.
He nicknamed it Chirac, like Iraq, because, you know, they were over there shooting, bombing, and
a lot of killing
people.
out here, a lot of
You know
guns
what I'm
out here.
saying?
It's a
So
lot of guns out here. Y'all know that, right?
We call it Chirac.
A lot of guns.
Because
It's a lot of guns out here, man.
We
It's a
feel like
lot
we're
of
in a
guns.
war zone
A lot
right
of
now.
guns.
You know what I mean? Like,
It is a war zone. It's
like
dying every day.
Every day.
Shut up. And they think they're making sense. That's the. But you definitely can't tell these guys the truth. They'll kill you for even opening your mouth, trying to, you know, offer them some sage advice. Oh no, they'll blow your brains out. Now look, I'm not saying all black people are. Bring up Mr. Speed. Oh, so yeah, Melissa. So basically, I'm just reviewing the homicide that took place in Philadelphia, involving 73-year-old elderly man and I just can't even think of the right descriptors to describe these kids. But these demons, these teenagers killed them. They killed him. They beat him to death with a construction cone. Senseless. Just out of pure joy and entertainment and fun, right? But yeah, back to this video. So what do you think that transmits to the youth? What is that transmitting to the youth? Love, harmony? Oh no. I think they're quite clear about what they're trying to convey through their music. Death, money, drugs. Yep, they're pretty clear. Oh no, you're fine, Melissa. I appreciate you guys. Look, I'm glad you guys are here. Like I said, I'm glad you guys are here because without you, I'd probably just be bloviating to myself. In power, absolutely, Jane. Absolutely. Thank you. This is why I said we have to be honest. We have to be honest. You know, when you're sitting around at lunch with your liberal friends or your leftist progressive buddies, and they start talking about, you know, more paternalistic ways to coddle the blacks or coddle anyone with this homicidal mindset. They want to coddle them? No. Lock them up. Lock them up. Let's put the animals in the cages. Lock them up. If you're afraid to say it, send them to my channel. Speaking of my channel, guys, be sure to check out my channel on YouTube, The Real Unwoke. Again, it's The Real Unwoke. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will continue to bring more content like this for your viewership. Absolutely. Well, you know, I don't particularly take any pleasure in bringing this type of content, but again, I think it's important that we highlight the issues that are really affecting our country, as opposed to crafting some, you know, liberal policy that's just going to completely put on the blinders for us all. Let's just stick our heads in the sand, you know? Let's not call it out for what it is. Jesus. Deception, disgrace. That's what it is. Pure deception, and it's a disgrace. Golly, I have rambled, and I haven't even gone through hardly any other videos I want to go through with you guys. But before I go, I wanted to bring up my man Thomas Sowell. If you guys are not familiar with Thomas Sowell, I strongly encourage you to check out his videos on YouTube. Actually, I started by reading some of his books. Racism and Disparities. It's a really good book. I think it's Disparities. Yeah. But this guy here, whew, he was on the front lines. Here we go.
These would be blacks who came out of the Southern culture and who carried that culture with them north into the urban ghettos and into the ghettos of the South, for that matter, and who have not moved out of that culture since. Over the years, both blacks and whites have moved away from that culture. But in the poorest and worst of the ghetto areas, there are lots of people who have not. And these it's a culture which didn't do whites any good, and it's certainly not doing blacks any good today. And the tragedy is that people regard this culture as somehow the authentic black culture, and therefore you're not to interfere with it. Those people have created an atmosphere in which
blessings.
These counterproductive cultures are to be celebrated, perpetuated, and the consequences overlooked.
Oh, you know what, Thomas O? I couldn't have said it better myself. These counterproductive cultures are celebrated and perpetuated with zero consequences. Insane. So let's just kind of bring this all to a head. Okay. So what did we talk about tonight? Oh, no, really quick. Oh, before we go, I want to oh man, I'm so mad. I wanted to read this for you guys. Hold up really quickly. Give me 1 second. All right. Let's do this. Share. There we go. Share. Okay, guys. No. Darn it. Okay, how about this? This is what we're gonna do. Give me 1 second. Bear with me, because this is gonna sum it all up. This is gonna sum it all up here. I promise you. Watch this. All right. Google. Okay. Google. All right, here we go. All right. Here we go. All right, guys. This is gonna sum it all up. Oh gosh. See. So what happens when you got the really cheap internet plan? Okay, here we go. All right. You guys are so patient. I appreciate it. All right, here we go. All right, guys. So look, this is going to sum it all up for us. All right, there it is. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents. Oh golly, how I see that. Unthankful. Yeah. Oh yeah. Got a lot of that. Unholy, without natural affection. Ooh, yep. And you wonder why marriages aren't lasting as long anymore. Truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. How true is that? Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. For of this sort they are which creep into the houses, and they are captive. Okay. So yeah, you guys get the point. Uh-oh. We're certainly in the last days. I don't know if I don't know if it's going to end in my lifetime, but I can tell you right now, I don't see how much I don't see how much further into hell we can descend into. I mean, this is I mean, if Sodom and Gomorrah didn't look anything like what we are in today, then we are in a rude awakening. I'm telling you right now, because it's going to get bad. And first thing we got to do is be honest with each other. We certainly got to be honest with each other. Miss Lori, I'm so glad that you have joined the chat. I appreciate you guys. Angela, Carol, appreciate your comments. Melinda. What else? Who else? Oh, Marlena, appreciate you guys. Yeah, we are. We are. Helen in the handbasket, right? But my opinion, I strongly believe these kids need to be locked up. I don't have any sympathy. Look, you got to learn your lesson. But we already know that they're in Philadelphia, so I'm sure the liberal policies will dictate that they'll get a slap on the wrist and be out by 4 years, perhaps. They're certainly not gonna. Well, thank you, Angela. I really appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, they're gonna slap on the wrist and they'll be out to do it again because we're not setting an example. We are not setting an example of what happens to criminals who commit such heinous crimes. Where is the deterrence for that sort of egregious act? What's going to deter the next criminal or the next teenager from killing an old lady? Nothing. You want to know why? Because they're poor black people and they don't have any ability to think for themselves or to make better decisions. So let's cut them some slack, let's just cut them some slack because they know no better, right? And away we go. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I'll try not to be as discombobulated. I know it's a bit little sporadic tonight, but forgive me. I mean, that's kind of like my feng shui, my je ne sais quoi. So, just roll with the punches, guys. I appreciate you guys for being here. Remember, we're speaking truth in reality, and I promise you, we absolutely will reinstitute. Cease. Did I freeze? What happened here? Oh gosh. Okay, guys, I think I might have frozen. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Almost froze there. But yeah, we're speaking truth and reality, and I promise you guys, we will reinstitute morality.